Good day, everyone. Today is Sunday, November 30th, 2025. We continue talking on the platform Sutra. This time we come to Samadhi, the chapter of Samadhi and Wisdom. Last time, when we end, we explained about the translation. So it says, good friends, the fundamental method of this Chan lineage is the unity of Samadhi and wisdom. In terms of practice, we enter through one practice Samadhi. What is one practice Samadhi? It means achieving this Samadhi through a straight mind. In daily life, walking, standing, sitting, lying down, throughout all times, one practices with a direct, upright mind, aware and present in the moment. As the Vimalakirti Sutras says, a straight mind is the Bodhi mandala. A straight mind is the Pure Land. So it ended on November 23rd, 2025. Now we continue on the talk. So if further on we talk about this one practice Samadhi. One practice Samadhi is also called one form Samadhi and or the Samadhi of one form adornment, contemplating the one-ness of the Dharma realm. The Mahaprajna Paramita Sutta states, Manjusri asked, World Honor One, what is called one practice Samadhi? The Buddha replied, to contemplate the Dharma realm as one-ness and to remain connected to it. This is called one practice Samadhi. Those who wish to enter one practice Samadhi must first hear the Prajna teaching and practice accordingly. Only then can they enter one practice Samadhi. In the other text says, this Samadhi is adorned by the one-ness of the Dharma realm. Therefore, it is called the Samadhi of one form adornment. Also, by Chan Master Zhongmi, he said, if one suddenly awakens to the mind's original purity, free from defilements, fully endowed in its intrinsic nature, that mind is Buddha, no different from the Buddha. Practicing based on this is the supreme Chan, also called Tathagata's Pure Chan, also called one practice Samadhi, also called true suchness Samadhi. So over here, by Master Zhongmi, you can see that, first of all, it said this practice is based on the supreme chant is called the Tathagata's pure chant. And one practice samadhi in true suchness samadhi. So there are at least 3 to 4 names here. And this is very chant transmitted from Bodhidharma. Samadhi means right concentration, focusing on one practice, maintaining equal mind. And thus, the 6 patriarch teachers at all places or all times, in walking, standing, sitting, lying down, constantly maintain a straight mind. Now here the word constant is the key. Diligence without interruption. Walking is chant, sitting is chant, speaking or silent, moving or still. The body remain at ease. So this straight mind is not merely moral uprightness. It refers to the true mind, true suchness, Buddha nature. To constantly act with a straight mind is to constantly abide in true suchness, in Buddha nature. So the text that said so-called deceit, it means crooked, flattering, self-serving mind, and then also the so-called Dharma forms, referring to appearances of phenomena. Another one is obstruction to the path. Anything referring to anything that hinders awakening. So the saying of a straight mind is the Bodhi Mandala. What does it mean? How to practice one practice samadhi through a straight mind. So to maintain a straight mind is one practice samadhi. A straight mind is the path. A straight mind is the Pure Land. This is the teaching, the chant teaching, that the way lies in ordinary daily activity. Whatever you are doing, whenever you are doing it, if your mind has no deceit, no selfishness, and remain broad, open, ordinary, natural, then every action, speech, silence, movement, stillness, all are the way. This is one practice samadhi. So in the teaching of Pure Land, human Pure Land and mind Pure Land, this straight mind is the foundation, both in theory and practice. So Bodhisattva Nagarjuna wrote in Mahaprajnaparamita Sastra that says, abiding in one practice samadhi, one sees no other samadhis, nor this shore or the other shore. In Sanskrit, samadhi has 2 meanings. One is concentration, the unmoving mind. 2, wisdom free from self-attachment, thus free from reaction to the environment, free from duality, free from discrimination, and also free from vexations. So this samadhi is non-discriminating wisdom, and it is beyond entering or leaving concentration, beyond distinctions of self and others, pure and impure, east and west. Now, giving this, not this, not that, it just means that it's go beyond the so-called discriminating mind. It is the so-called non-duality, in a sense. Then this is the samadhi that is no discriminating at all. So the text says, not seeing any samadhis means one practice samadhi. Other samadhis arise from different methods. We say reciting Buddha's name, give Buddha recitation samadhi. Contemplating the sun, give sun samadhi. Water gives water samadhi. Fire gives fire samadhi. Each method has its name. But when one practice samadhi is perfected, all samadhis are included. Nothing more to seek. So, what samadhi are you practicing? Well, you are practicing listening to Dharma samadhi. Is that right? A straight mind is an honest and utterly upright mind, but it is not blank. It is not indifferent or careless mind that ignores everything. Rather, it is a mind that lets go of self-centered judgment and calculation of gain and loss, and simply meets the present moment and the present situations as they are, handling and responding naturally and appropriately. That is a straight mind. However, people who have not trained themselves may understand this principle conceptually and think they can do it. But when situations arise, they still stir up their vexations again, and their wisdom disappears. Or rather, true wisdom was never present to begin with. Understanding that one should be objective and should not judge based on self-interest is only an intellectual and rational idea, not genuine insight. Therefore, one must diligently cultivate day by day, uphold precepts, and practice meditation. Only through such cultivation can this state truly arise. So again, the importance of practice. Practice samadhi, practice meditation, practice keeping good precept. So we apply to our daily life by practicing a gentle and upright mind. And in one occasion, our teacher, Master Sung Yen, with several of his disciples, our teacher brought up a phrase, gentle yet straightforward. This described the Bodhisattva path, the mind of the way. Gentle can overcome hardness, yet straightforward has the quality of firmness. Gentleness means responding to others' needs, always following beings. Whatever their character or need, we give accordingly. But if beings desire what they should not have, should we still give? Of course not. That would harm them. Thus, gentleness does not mean having no principles or wisdom, nor being a naive, good-natured person. True gentleness means no self, only others. Responding compassionately and wisely for their benefit. Straightforwardness means keeping nothing hidden, not viewing others with distorted or suspicious minds, not scheming, not doubting others. Whatever one needs to say it openly and sincerely, without concealment. Do not treat everyone as an enemy out of self-protection. Speaking evasively or twistedly. Well, give an example. Say, how many people are in your family? And the reply is, well, there are a few of us living together. Then ask again, have you eaten yet? The reply was, eating is something one should do. So continue on asking, so did you eat or not? And asking, have you ever been married? The answer is, marriage is something one should consider, but I haven't yet decided whether I should. So you can tell what such a person means. People might call this kind of speech sly, but often it is simply crooked. Then another person hearing our teacher talk about being straightforward, he said, Master, may I ask? I am suspicious of you. But our teacher was just finished explaining that straightforwardness means not being suspicious. He remembered only the word straightforward and turn it into suspicion. And after that, our teacher asked him, "Did you hear what I said earlier?" He said, "I have heard you say the same thing 100 or 1,000 times, so I didn't listen to that part. But I heard the last part about being straight." This is selective hearing. Hearing only what one likes or what seems beneficial, but not what challenges one's own tendencies. And what about us? Some people speak sharply or harshly, using cutting words to criticize, blame, or doubt others. When corrected, they argue. Isn't a straight mind that way the way? I'm just being honest. What's good is good. What's bad is bad. That's how I am. The world needs people like me. If everyone weren't straightforward, the world would be crooked. That sounds reasonable, but they have forgotten the first two words, gentle. Gentle yet. Straightforwardness must not contradict gentleness. Otherwise, it brings afflictions for oneself and for others. Therefore, true straightforwardness means speaking for the benefit of others and oneself. Expressing truth as it is, as the Buddha spoke truly. And thus he's called the Tathagata, or thus come one. And our teacher shared a event. He said that he had a disciple who knew he was supposed to listen with a straight mind. As our teachers spoke, he listened, but afterward, there was not a single word left in his mind. When our teacher asked him to repeat what he said, he spoke his own ideas instead. Because he thought straight mind means just letting our teacher talk without paying attention, as if saying, "Oh, you're talking. That's your talking," and nothing entered his mind. So when our teacher asked him, "What did you hear?" he said, "You spoke everything already. I have already heard it." Then continue on, our teacher asked, "So what did I say?" He responded, "What does that have to do with me? You talk and I listen straightly." But what he repeated had nothing to do with what our teacher taught. He just said his own thoughts. If one listened to the platform Sutra like this, then why come at all? Listening like this is a troublesome indeed. Straight mind does not mean careless listening. It means using your mind to listen clearly, knowing what is useful for you and what is not, and understanding how to apply it. That is called straight mind listening. Also, while listening, don't let your thoughts wander. When listening to Dharma, just listen to Dharma. If while Shifu speaks and you are thinking about other things or judging him as he speaks. So our teachers say one sentence, you mutter, nonsense. And then our teachers say another, you think, maybe a bit reasonable, but not entirely right. And then our teachers say another, you think, sounds good, but you probably can't do it yourself. If you listen this way, what benefit will you get? That is not straight mind. That is crooked mind listening. There is a sutra called the Vimalakirti Sutra. In Kumarajiva's translation, the name Vimalakirti is transliterated from Sanskrit. And then in Xuanzang's master's translation, it is rendered as pure name sutra. Although Kumarajiva's version is more widely used for its beautiful style, in the Sixth Patriarch Huineng's time, Xuanzang translation was popular, and thus the term pure name sutra. In the Vimalakirti Sutra, Volume 4, a young celestial bodhisattva named Guangyan Tongzi recounted, once, when I was leaving the great city of Vaisali, I met Vimalakirti entering the city. I bowed and asked, "How Soda, where do you come from?" Vimalakirti responded, "I come from the Bodhi Mandala." So Guangyan Tongzi did not understand and asked again, "Which Bodhi Mandala do you come from? Where is your Bodhi Mandala?" Then Vimalakirti replied, "A straight mind is the Bodhi Mandala. From a straight mind I come. Wherever there's a straight mind, that is the Bodhi Mandala." As a great bodhisattva, Vimalakirti constantly taught people without letting them seek the Dharma outside their own mind. If your mind is straight, there and then is the Bodhi Mandala, wherever, at all times. In another passage, he said to Bodhisattva Ratnakara, translated as treasure accumulation, Bodhisattva. So the saying of a straight mind is the Bodhisattva's pure land. Meaning, if your mind is straight, you are a Bodhisattva, and you dwell in the Pure Land. So the word Bodhi Mandala or Dharma Hall, a place where one gives rise to the Bodhi mind. It's a place, a Bodhi Mandala is the place where you generate the aspiration to follow the Bodhisattva path and attain Buddhahood. Practicing the Bodhisattva path can be extremely simple or extremely vast and complex. So give an example. Simply put, it is summarized in 3 pure precepts. It is vast and intricate. It includes the 6 paramitas and the 10,000 practices and the 80,000 Dharma conducts. Indeed, a great many. So the 3 pure precepts are simple to understand. First of all, is uphold all pure precepts. That means keep the precept appropriate to your role. Lay people keep lay precepts. Novices keep novice precepts. Monks and nuns keep the bhikshu bhikshuni precepts. So doing your duty, that is precept keeping. You do not suddenly keep every precept all at once. So practice every good deeds you can with compassion and wisdom. But you do not perform every good deed at once. Well, we could give a humorous example. So this is shared by a teacher. He said, when I was in the army, soldiers received vitamins as aid supplies. One soldier thought, why eat one a day? I will finish the whole bottle at once. So he swallowed them all and ended up needing his stomach flushed. So cultivate all wholesome practices means do as much good as you can within your ability, sincerely and steadily. And some people feared these vows to save all sentient beings, to benefit all beings. They say, Master, who am I? I haven't even saved myself. How can I save others? But saving beings means whenever someone is in difficult and your word or small action helps them, that is saving a being. So the question is that, can we save all beings in one day, in one lifetime? The answer, of course, impossible. Even the Buddha, Sakyamuni, vowed to save all beings, yet many remain unliberated. There are just two vows. Sorry. The vow means whenever beings need help, never abandon them. Directly or indirectly, help whoever you can. So when we speak Dharma today, it is Buddha who is saving beings. What we do is that we just simply transmit the Dharma. We help the Buddha help beings. We self-liberated and help others liberate, not by ego, but by Dharma. Beings are liberated by their own wisdom when conditions ripen. So you could say, have I saved anyone? No, the Dharma saves. And we just simply speak Dharma. And those whose karmic condition mature liberate themselves. So there are millions of people in a country. Only those who choose to come and listen, others do not. So you came because you choose to come. Maybe encouraged, maybe deceived, but willingly deceived. So when saying, I am not saving you, but I have assisted by providing the Dharma. So this is the vow we should cultivate. Use the Dharma to help beings whenever they are ready. Practicing the Bodhisattva path, the present mind is the Bodhi mind. Wherever one practices the Bodhisattva path, that place is the Bodhi mandala. When our mind is cultivating the Bodhisattva path, the mind itself is the Bodhi mandala. When the mind walks the Bodhisattva path, the body naturally dwells within the Bodhi mandala. So wherever we are, if our mind accords with the three sets of pure precepts, that very place is our Bodhi mandala. So let's ask, is the monastery a Bodhi mandala? Of course, yes. Is your home a Bodhi mandala? Yes. Is your bed a Bodhi mandala? What about your bathroom? Is that a Bodhi mandala? Where should the Buddha be enshrined then? The Buddha is within the mind. And what does this Buddha look like? Formless, a straight mind. When your mind is straight, you are already offering a Buddha image. Your mind is in harmony with the Buddha. So, again, when and where is not Bodhi mandala? Of course, whenever and wherever your mind is straight, that is Bodhi mandala. So the saying of a straight mind is the Pure Land. Well, there are 4 types of Pure Land. Pure Land can be understood in several ways. Otherworldly Pure Land, referring to the Buddha lands in other directions. The second one is human world Pure Land. And then the third one, inner Pure Land of the mind. The first type is easy to understand. For example, Amitabha's Western Pure Land or Medicine Buddha's Eastern Pure Land. In Sutra, it is said that in the northern continent, Uttarakuru, there exists a human world Pure Land. But none of us have seen it. For us, it remains an object of fate, similar to the Western Pure Land, something distant, not directly related to our experience. Then it also said that in 56 billion years, Maitreya Bodhisattva will descend to this world and attain Buddhahood. And at that time, this world will become a Pure Land. But that is far too distant for us to imagine. So the easiest to understand and practice is this. If our own mind is pure, that is, free from vexations, free from afflictions, then the Pure Land naturally appears before us. So when the mind is pure, the world will be perceived as pure. If the mind is free from greed, anger, ignorance, pride, and doubt, then there are no inner disturbances, and thus the world itself appears free of problems. So impurity arises from our own affliction, our own afflictive emotions, and diluted mental habits. So we will stop here for this moment. So impurity arises from our own afflictive emotions and diluted mental habits. Let's stop here.
Bảo